Cuff. That's what makes this good. So, I just got out, watched the Bob's Burgers movie in theaters because I was wanted to watch it, like the show, obviously, and I was like, I want to do a impressions right out of the theater of me watching it because it's something that I enjoy, and I forgot my GoPro, unfortunately, so I'm using my phone. So sorry for worse quality. I'll make this short because I don't have all the time in the world to talk about it, but I want to give some impressions, spoiler free or whatever, even though it doesn't matter. So yeah, first things first, initial, like, right out of the gate impression wasn't bad. That was good. Great animation, obviously. It really felt and captured the show. Like, they nailed that dynamic of the family, the kids. If you watch the show, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like Bob and Linda's whole dynamic of suffering, you should encourage them, all that. You know what I'm talking about if you've watched the show, and honestly, that's kind of what this is for. Is if you are a fan of the show, you're gonna go watch this. If you're not a fan of the show, I think it kept gets you in as well, and maybe interest you in the show, and that's ultimately that's kind of the flip side of it. Is it nails the feeling of the show, but almost too well. Like, I think the biggest comparison I can throw into it is recently in the past couple months I've been getting into The Simpsons like crazy. Like binging, like I started on like season 7 or something, and I am like caught up. The comparison there with those two is completely possible. And I think what the Simpsons movie does, and I'm not gonna review that obviously, but the comparison that the Simpsons movie does, it takes the Simpsons and turns it into a whole movie. Like, it gives that grand scale that's there. Bob's Burgers has already had episodes that have this exact plot. Like, this is literally, I think, like season 6 or 7 of Bob's Burgers. I could be wrong here, and I'll correct myself because I want to know what I'm talking about with this. They did this exact plot, almost word for word, and that's not really a spoiler. It's shown there, but if you know what it is, you can see everything coming a mile away. Which is both a good thing and a bad thing, and I think it works well for a movie plot. It really does, but I don't think the elements that hit in those episodes are here. I want to backpedal real quick too, to give my impression. So this is a musical. I know Joe, my friend, I Want to Die movie night people, whatever. Joe has said before, like, why is this a musical? And he even asked me, he was like, why would they do that with this show and never really think of the songs? They kind of went halvesies on it. Like, in some of the best episodes of Bob's Burgers, it is a musical. Like, they have those songs in there, almost more so than, like, Family Guy, and they, like, surpassed that. But in this case, they go, like, halves on it. I think there's 3 songs. Yeah, there's 3 songs in the whole movie, and that's it. And they're okay. Nothing there is like showstopper good or totally gonna the next like Disney movie pop thing, and it's kind of lame. I was That's probably my biggest disappointment, is I was expecting them to go overboard with that department. Like, some of the songs that they've had have been banger, great songs, like Bob being stuck on the toilet, stuff like that. They're silly, but they're great. Like, that one alone, I've listened to that track, and it's straight up musical material, and I was expecting the movie to have tracks similar to that instead of very mediocre, in terms of that department. But that's where that's the whole movie in a nutshell. Is it's okay, mediocre, it's good. If you like the show, you'll like this, but it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna blow anybody away, in terms of anything. It doesn't have the punch to it. It doesn't have the plot elements or the reveals that you would reveals. I mean, it's a cartoon still. It doesn't have the impact and emotional weight that I think some other films have. Even the Simpsons movie, I think, nails the emotional weight of Homer and Marge. That connection and weight from them is really strong, and it makes that movie go from, normal episode to something far beyond in terms of how it is, plus a insane plot, insane elements that get put into it. This feels like the big screen. You have the theme song done by Green Day, all of the stuff that the Bob's Burgers movie doesn't have. And ultimately, to like finish it up, to like finish off my opinions and thoughts, I could go forever. Maybe I'll make a full video on it someday. It doesn't have that impact, and the emotional weight, the drama that you could get from these characters that, in my opinion, I feel like is what I was expecting going into it, is that whole next level angle for a movie to go beyond what the show can do in hour and a half format. And instead it feels like an episode of the show. And that's good. I'm happy that it feels like an episode of the show. They nailed that feeling. It didn't feel like something completely different, which is good. But it's also the downside of it. You know, it's a movie and it doesn't necessarily feel like that movie in terms of the scope and what they could do with it, especially when the music is just kind of okay. I just left the theater and I can remember parts of the first song, maybe the second, but the third song, in my opinion, is really bad. And I'm not a musical person necessarily. I don't write music, and I didn't vibe with them. But yeah, I think it's worth watching. Maybe not in the theater though. As a Hulu or Disney Plus thing, direct to streaming, this would have been awesome. I think it would have been crazy to see that, especially with what's on there right now. And it would have probably do better. I don't know what the numbers look like yet, but my theater was pretty empty, and I'm the first showing of the day, debut day. Like, this is the Thursday. It comes out tomorrow, technically. Theaters, nobody's there. And from the reaction there, you know, there's chuckles and everything, because comedy-wise, this movie's not as funny as people might think it is. Bob's Burgers humor is already tame, very dry. And season 1 nails that humor. So many comments, just offhand, like, insults getting thrown around. Great. And the show gets worse at it as it goes, and the stories kind of become more why you watch it, making it a lot more like a family show rather than a comedy. It lacks it's not nearly as funny as The Simpsons, Family Guy. Yeah, to finish this up, give it a watch once it's out. I don't think you need to go to the theater to watch this. Don't go run out and call all your friends to go watch it. If you're a fan of the show, you want to see it on the big screen, you want to support it and see that animation, yes, go do it. There's some shots that are beautiful, and I'm happy 2D's back, at least for this. But don't be expecting the masterpiece. Don't even expect Simpsons movie 2 in terms of quality, or even that quality, in my opinion. I think it's below that. But yeah, it's good. If you like the show, you'll enjoy it. It has the elements that you want. It has the fantasies. It has the music. It has that dry humor. It has the Belchers just suffering and life sucking. It has the stuff you'd like. And it focuses a lot on Louise. So if you're, you know, everyone likes her. A lot of focus on that. Probably too much, in my opinion. I would prefer a bit more focus on the restaurant and that side of things. But yeah. Give it a watch once it's out. It's definitely worth watching if you like the show. Just not maybe in theaters. If I throw a number rating at it, easy 6 out of 10. I wouldn't dare go to a 7. But yeah, definitely worth watching. I just wanted to put this out as a simple video since, you know, I talk about this stuff. I've talked about it once, and I feel like people enjoyed that. So yeah, have a good one, and till next time.